first confession is about how my lack of appetite is now costing my brother $20,000. My brother works in the film industry as a DP, director of photography. Some time ago, he was working on a commercial for a client and rented some equipment. I visited him on the set to watch, because I know some of the people in his crew and we sometimes hang out. Anyway, it was lunchtime. Even though I hadn't had anything to eat since I woke up, I didn't feel hungry, so my brother left for the canteen and I sat down on a rug on the floor and called my friend. We chatted for a bit and then suddenly out of the blue she announced her boyfriend of 11 years was cheating on her. I immediately stood up, asking what? How? That's when it happened. My head started spinning, I blacked out for a second, which was long enough to collapse on the floor, and take down a tripod with a horribly expensive film camera with me. I panicked and, ignoring the pain in my back, put the tripod back up, and walked away from it. A friend of my brother's came in the studio and asked what happened. I told him a set piece must have collapsed somewhere, it was a big set. I was too embarrassed to tell anyone the truth. Now I think I should have done it, because such sets are usually covered by insurance. I think. That's right, I just didn't know. I promptly took my leave and hoped the camera would still work. The bruise from the tripod would be there to remind me about it for the next 2 weeks. When I wanted to talk to my brother on Messenger a few days later, he was busy and on edge. I knew something was off. And it was. It turned out that they realized that something was wrong with the camera only when they were returning it. I don't know the details, but long story short, my brother is being held responsible for it. Now he has to pay a ridiculous amount of money to the guy who rent him the equipment. He's depressed and says his career is over. He didn't have any savings left as he had just bought an apartment for his pregnant wife. I haven't told him, but I know that I will have to repay this debt. It's going to take me years to save up, but I just have to do it. I'm having PTSD-like symptoms whenever I see a film camera or a tripod. I just needed to get it off my chest, and my brother doesn't visit Reddit, so. TLDR. I fainted and broke a $20,000 film camera that my broke brother now has to pay for. The second confession is about. I broke my phone, bought another one, broke it too, lied and basically stole another phone. On the 22nd of December my phone fell in a small puddle of water and it got busted for the third time in a year. I went to the phone shop and after like 10 minutes the guy, who we've known for 4 years and are friends with, tells me that it would cost me $80 to fix, or if I liked I could pay $100 for a second-hand phone, so I did. This was a lot of money to my family. On the 24th of December, my new phone I was very happy with somehow slipped out of my pocket and fell down the stairs. As I picked it up I was relieved to see that nothing was broken, but when I pressed the power button, the screen lit up and then the phone shut down. I tried to power it back on but every time it did the same thing, turns on then shuts down, until finally it never turned on again. I felt like crying because my parents had already spent so much money on screen replacements for my old phone and also spent a lot on the new one. I talked to my mom, telling her that the phone did that out of nowhere. She called the phone repair guy who said that his shop was still open but not for long. I walked there and I gave him the phone saying that I left it to charge, and when I came back it was restarting over and over again and I had no clue what happened, which was of course a lie. He says that since it's Christmas Eve he doesn't have time to look at it and gives me another phone to use in the meantime. It was pretty old and clearly took a beating but it was still working. He'll look at it the 27th, he says. Fast forward to the 27th of December. I get a call from the guy saying that he has absolutely no idea why the phone did that but that it wasn't my fault, and that he'll replace it free of charge. 7th of January I receive another call from him where he informs me that he got a phone for me and that I can come pick it up. When I do he apologized countless times for the inconvenience. I died on the inside, but my parents couldn't afford to pay another $100. Edit, Tried to reply to everyone at first, but I had no idea the post would blow up like that. I'm gonna stop replying, sorry. Thanks to everyone who took the time to read and comment. Have good day/night. The last confession is about. I stole a lot of money from my parents as a teenager. When I was a teenager, I used to steal money from my parents' saving, which they always stored in cash. It was meant for the things around new house, but my teenager stupidity and interest in drugs at that time stopped me from thinking clearly. Altogether I stole few €100 from them, and I spent it all on alcohol, drugs, and occasionally on fast food. Now I have a job and I am trying to save, so I can pay them back in the future. They don't know about it and I don't plan on telling them. I also stole a lot of things from shops, like clothes and food. But that I can't repay. I am not proud of myself about it. At least I realized my wrongdoings, but the fact that I made life harder for those around me only because of my selfishness will haunt me for a long time. Edit. Thank you guys for all your kind words, different perspectives, awards, and support. After all those comments, I might consider telling them. It is nice to know that I'm not the only one who did this stupid mistake, and more importantly, that you earned your forgiveness. It gives me hope that I can earn it too. Thanks again.